Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. I am currently at MacKerricher State Park in Northern California, just north of Fort Bragg on the north coast. And this place is actually quite a gem. So I want to talk a little bit about the history of it. There were the Pomo and the Northern Yuki Native American tribes that frequented this area, and it was actually very rich in resources. Birds and fish and acorns and seaweed and all kinds of stuff. It was so rich in resources that they actually let other Native Americans come here and harvest some of the goods. So they thrived here for thousands of years, and then it was in 1864 that this guy Douglas MacKerricher and his wife came down from Canada to this area, and then after a few years he was able to purchase 1,000 acres, and that's what has become the park right now. This is the first lookout here that you can see some folks hanging out. Down below me there, those are the tide pools. You'll see a little staircase going down there. Unfortunately right now it's not really tide pool time because the tide's a little bit too high. What I'd like to do now is just show you the stairs down there, and then we'll carry on to the lookouts that are right there where those people are, and then way out there. I think that's a whale watching area over there. You can see just a hint of blue skies. But here's the stairs down to the tide pool area. And I'll just show you some hermit crabs down there, but that was about all I saw when I went down there just a minute ago. So anyway, back in the day when MacKerricher was here, there was a railroad that was built, I think, from Cleon to Laguna Point. He called his place Rancho de la Laguna, and there's a lagoon over there, which I'll show you a little bit later, that has some history to it as well. Okay, so right now I'm heading out to the whale watching area, and there's not much going on right now. It's mid-September, and the whale watching time is, I think, December through April. So we're not going to see any whales, but I just want to show you what it looks like out here. So here's what it looks like at the whale watching area. Really beautiful spot. So I'm taking a little alternate turn in the boardwalk here. I'm not sure where this goes, but I want to point out that the place where I came in, where the boardwalk is sort of the park entrance, and it's also where the campgrounds are. You can camp here. It's not cheap, it's $45 per night. They told me they have space here. I wouldn't mind camping here, but I stopped at a place on the road and there was a guy there, and I talked to him. He looked like he stayed there overnight, just at a pullout on the coast that had beautiful views, and he kind of sheepishly told me that he did stay there and that nobody bothered him. So I think I'm just going to go up there and see if I can do that instead. Not that I mind paying the 45 bucks, but it seems like it's actually a nicer place because it has a better view. The other thing is, I got online and it said that the campground is full, but when I talked to the ranger as I was coming in, she told me that places do free up and that she will likely have a place for me. So I think that's also a possibility. Of course, MacKerricher eventually passed on, and then his family, the estate, sold the land to the state of California, so it's been owned by them since then. I don't know I doubt if it was turned into a park right away. It probably took a while and has been developing over the years, but now it's a state park, and a very nice one at that. Okay, so this is Hall Road, and you can see that cyclist that just went by, and it's recommended to ride a bike along here. It'd be a lot quicker. I don't have a bike with me right now, but if I did, I'd definitely be riding, because down this way is this big trestle bridge. It's kind of a big deal. It might be about 3 miles, which is going to be all I'm going to want to hike today, but I'd love to see the bridge, love to walk over it. This road is called Hall Road because I think it used to be used to haul things back in the day. MacKerricher allowed a railroad to be built. It wasn't his railroad, but he allowed the land to be used for the railroad, and hence hauling goods back and forth. And I also believe that the seal watching area where the boardwalk is, that is Laguna Point. The railroad went from Cleon to Laguna Point. All right, so at this point, Hall Road is kind of opened up, and I got a nice view of the ocean here, tide pools and rocks and beaches. It's very pretty, but I can also say that I believe that the best way to transport yourself on Hall Road is with wheels, with a bicycle or a scooter, skateboard, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 3-mile walk to the Trestle, but it's something I definitely want to see, so I'm down to do it. And I won't bore you with too many details on the way, but you know, we're kind of in the trees and I didn't see much, so it's really nice to see the ocean. A little bit of blue sky over there, not much. It's kind of an overcast day. It's 1:15 or something like that, so I don't think it's going to clear out and be sunny today, but probably in the low 60s degrees Fahrenheit, which is a very comfortable temperature for hiking. Okay, there's the direction from which we came, and you can see, I think they put up these walls here, the K-rails, to try to keep the sand out. And you can see that they've only been partially successful. But that's a nice beach there. Not sure what it's called. But what I do know is this creek that we're about to cross is called Virgin Creek. So that flows into the ocean from over that away. And this park is kind of a thin strip, and if you look back, you can see some private housing along there that we've seen as we've passed through this area. And now we got to go over this little bridge here, and this is another view of the creek. Some birds down there, and this again is the beach. This sign is really faded in the sun, but anyway, the snowy plover or plover is a threatened species that's found here. This happens to be a nesting area, this beach we're at. There's a little brochure they give you that has information on the birds, and this is the nesting area right here. Well, sometimes your state park butts up against a kind of industrial area. It looks like this is some sort of gravel rock quarry or something, and it's literally right along Hall Road here. There's another beautiful beach in the distance there. Okay, as I was saying before my battery quit, we have arrived at the Trestle. You can see it right here behind me. It's a beautiful spot, and that's Pudding Creek. It's a pretty big creek, so you can see it flows out to sea there. Gorgeous beach. And then over this way you can see Highway 1 and the creek coming in under Highway 1 way over there. The trestle itself is really beautiful, and for whatever reason, didn't read anything about this, but I guess it's a tradition to come here and put a lock on here. There's a really old one. That's pretty cool. They've had a hard life out here. Look at these master locks are getting pretty rusty. There's an old heart-shaped one. Nice collection of locks, if that's your thing. So I didn't know about that, but now I do. Wow. Many, many locks. Whole series of heart-shaped locks there. I love you, Gloria. R.I.P. Charles Tom P. Another old one there. Very cool. The trestle was originally built as a railroad in 1916 to haul logs. Subsequently, in 1947, it was converted to a road for trucks because that became a more common way to haul logs. And then in 1968, it was finally abandoned. Following that, in 1995, it was designated as a walkway, and reconstruction began at that time, and they used old timbers from a redwood bridge in the area to fix it up nice how it is today. As you can see, this is just an absolutely beautiful area. I'm walking back across the bridge now, heading north. It's just absolutely fantastic. They've done a really good job in restoring the bridge, the surface, and you can bike across it now. It's part of the haul trail that you can bike. At the south end there's a parking lot, and at the north end there's a parking lot, so there's no need to do the big long walk like I did if you don't want to. There's a lot of hotels around here. This is a popular spot, I guess, to stay along the beach. Okay, so I'm just north of the trestle there. There's the hotel over there. And I noticed that there's a little trail that goes down by this lone tree here. Gets another view. Interestingly, there's a lifeguard shack down there. It's not occupied, but they probably have enough traffic here in the summer that warrants having a lifeguard. Very close to the hotels. Oh yeah, this is a really pretty spot. I think I can probably take this trail to the right. Wow, what a pretty beach with the rocks. It's very nice. These big trees, I don't know if they're cypress or junipers or whatever, but they're beautiful trees. And then back there you can see the hotel. That wouldn't be a bad place to stay. I wonder what rooms cost there. Probably not super cheap. So I'm just going to cruise along the trail here and see if I can. It's going to make my hike a little bit longer. The hike from the park to the trestle was about 2.5 miles. And so I think it's about a 5-mile round trip, not including the hiking on the boardwalk that I did, which was another mile or so. Now you can get a view of the trestle over there. It's really burly. You know, it's obviously made to support trains hauling logs, so it's kind of overkill for bikes and people, but it's very nicely done. I'm not sure what year it was completed. If I can figure that out, I'll post it. Yeah, this is just a nice little coastal use trail, it looks like. Might go down here. I don't want to do that, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is another slightly dicey way down to the beach. Looks like people have done it. You can kind of grab onto that log if you like. And you can also step through this log right here and get around to this trail. I have no idea where this goes, but it's probably going to take me for a lot longer. But quite frankly, that paved trail is great for bikes, but it's not much of a hiking trail. It's not that pretty. Another nice view of the beach. Well, you never know what's going to happen, do you? I was down there at the trestle getting ready for my return. Thought I was just going to return in this sort of dreary fog, and then the sun came out mixed with clouds and fog, and it just created this amazing light for viewing the surf. So I was just getting a lot of shots of the surf, and I hope you're not too bored with those. I sure wasn't. And I was kind of bumming out about doing this long hike for no reward, and now I get this incredible view. And I could stay out there on the coast actually for longer if I wanted to, but I think I got what I need to get. Looking over that way, that looks really pretty over there. So I mean, you could spend all day just walking along the coast and going down to beaches. It's just beautiful out here. Really a lovely coastline, and the light makes all the difference. You know, I don't like a clear blue sky. I like this mixed clouds and fog. It just makes it very dramatic and beautiful. Okay, so now we're about a mile or so north of the Trestle. We passed Virgin Creek, and on my left here, I'll raise it up so you can see it better. It's there's a series of dunes, which are really pretty, and you can actually get out there and walk around on them and get close to shore. I'm getting a little tuckered out, so I'm not going to do that, but you can, and it looks really pretty. There you can see a trail that goes out to the coast right there. One of the things that I've realized as I walk back to Laguna Point is that the paved path is great for cyclists, but it's not that fun to walk on. So it's probably better just to hoof it along the trails that they have along here. These are really nice. They're longer, but you're much closer to the coast. I mean, look at that view down there. This is right where I am. It's just, this is pretty fantastic. When you're out on the path, you kind of miss out on this a little bit. So you can see the driftwood that's been deposited up there. And then out just to the left of that last reddish bush, there's another big log. I know it's a wide angle, so maybe you don't see it that well, but it's out there. All right, so now I've connected with a trail that I believe is going to take me back to the whale watching area, which is way out at that point out there. Then I'll return to the parking lot via the boardwalk. And so since I left the pavement back there, I will not do any more of the haul trail. And again, if you bring your bike, do the haul trail, it's great. But if you hike, you might want to consider coming along the coast. It's just much prettier, quieter. It's more work because there's some upsy downsies and the trail gets a little dicey here and there, but it's pretty good. Okay, there's a nice view of Laguna Point over there and the whale watching platform as we cruise along the trail. In the distance over there you can see the folks. That's the other platform that overlooks the tide pool area. Nice collection of driftwood down there near Laguna Point. Alright, so you can see that the trail has taken us right back to the whale watching platform. And we'll go out there just one more time. The light's probably different, so we might get a better shot. So here's another shot in slightly different light. There's a cormorant flying by. It's a little more overcast now, but it's still really pretty. We'll pan all the way back around to the other way. Nice light. Alright, so I'm now at the kind of the tidal area overlook. I have to say that video turned out a little differently than I expected. That walk down there turned out to be pretty interesting. It's 9 miles long, so there's a whole northern section we haven't looked at. And it's more like beaches, I think, than the rocky areas. All right, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did making it. It was really kind of fun. It turned out kind of interesting. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So until next time, thanks for watching.